All right, now let's talk about one of your favorite things to do in life, if you're like the majority of reporters, and that's numbers. I'd like to talk to you about number conversion. First thing we need to do is let's go to our personal dictionary, and I want you to follow along with me here. Please open your personal dictionary and put a check mark where it says by type, and then click the down arrow and select numbers only and click on search. You should have a long list of numbers because if you're like every other court reporter, including myself, you have globaled every number on the face of this earth. Now, what I'm about to tell you is going to be very scary. If you want to use ProCat's number conversion, you need to clean out all of the numbers in your dictionary. Yes, that is correct. You heard me right. You have to clean out all the numbers in your dictionary. Let me explain why. First of all, the program, when you're writing in real time, it knows that it is supposed to use everything in your personal dictionary. So now all of a sudden you say to the program, I want you to do automatic number conversion. So in your real-time area, under preferences, you now have a check mark here, automatic number conversion. And you have a bunch of things checked off, which I'll explain here in a minute. Okay, now the program says to itself, wait a minute, I'm supposed to use everything in this court reporter's dictionary for numbers. But now they want me to do the automatic number conversion, and so now I don't know what I'm doing. And when that happens, it is not a pretty sight, because at that point, heaven only knows what you're getting when you do numbers. It gets confused. And this is true in almost every CAT system. So, let's get through the scary part first. Back to the dictionary. You'll notice I only have two numbers here, and quite frankly, I only have these numbers in here so that when I do a demo and I show people my number conversion, they know that I really don't have numbers in my dictionary. That's the only reason they're here. Here's an easy way for you to get through this. The first thing I want you to do is back up your personal dictionary with all your numbers intact. If you want to, make two backups of it. Once you've done that, then you can go to your dictionary area, go up here to the word File, and you're going to click on Remove Numbers. Now, this program will not remove all numbers. It will remove numerals only. So if you have other numbers, once this program is done running, then what I would do is I would open up your personal dictionary again, put a check mark by type, and do a search on numbers only. You'll be able to see what numbers are left, and then start highlighting everything. So if you need to do all your numbers, you can, the easiest thing to do is click on the first one in the group and then shift click, scroll all the way down and shift click on the last one. Once you've done that, go up to tags and delete tagged entries, and at that point all the numbers will be gone. Once you've cleaned out all the numbers in your dictionary, there are some things you need to make sure that you do have in your dictionary. For instance, I have the word exhibit right here. SKIBT is the correct way that I do it. And I'm going to remove this because I don't need that anymore. Are you sure you want to delete it? You betcha. Okay, so all you need to do is to make sure you have the word exhibit, just like this, in your dictionary. You also need to have the word number in your dictionary, right here, just the word number, okay? The other thing you want to make sure is that you have the word case, which you probably do in your personal dictionary, the word point, P-O-I-N-T, in your dictionary. You want to make sure you have defined 100, 1,000, million, and billion in your dictionary. Now, when you are defining those, you'll have your steno, and then you want to write them out, just like I have here. So you have 100 written out, you'll have 1,000, million, billion, trillion written out. The next thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you have the way you write dollars defined. And the way you want to define that is, I use final DZ for my dollar symbol. So for my dollar symbol, the English will be the dollar symbol. Okay? Now, you're probably wondering, well, if I want the word dollars, then what do I do? Well, at that point, you will have a different way of writing dollars. I have it in two ways, DLARS and DLARZ. When I use that, it gives me the word dollar or dollars, whatever you need. Okay? All right. Now, once you've done all of that, let me talk about this little message for a minute while we're here. One or more of the operations you've performed on the dictionary requires a rebuild. It is highly recommended to perform a rebuild now. Do you want to rebuild the dictionary? If you ever see this, this is telling you that, and this is nothing to get nervous about, it's just reminding you that you've either added a lot of entries or deleted a lot of entries, and it wants to rebuild your dictionary so that it keeps everything in alphabetical order. So I'm going to say yes to this, and this is a good opportunity now for you to see how this works. And you'll get this message, rebuild process successful. And that's a good thing. Periodically, if you've been doing a lot of work in your dictionary, you will get that message before you close out your dictionary. Just say yes to it. Now, let's go back to our real time and the preference area. And let's talk about all the things that you can select. And let me explain them to you. Now that you've cleaned all the numbers out of your dictionary, let's look at the first item. Treat and as part of number. What that means is the word and. I write this two different ways depending on what I'm doing. I use AEN for my word and. I also use AEN when I hear a number like $550 or $300.50. I write AEN. I no longer have a stroke, a special stroke for a decimal point. So, if you would like to do that, put a check mark here, and I'm going to demonstrate this all for you in a minute. The next one is treat point as a decimal point. Again, I have gotten rid of, I used to do initial P, final T to give me a decimal point. I don't have to do that anymore. If someone says, my point is, I write point, P-O-I-N-T. If the attorney says .34, I still write P-O-I-N-T. So I'm writing exactly what I hear. I'm writing the word. And the system knows whether it should be a decimal point or whether it should be the word point. So put a check mark here. Treat ampersand as part of number. This is where I have another way of writing and. For this one, I write A-N-D. And my dictionary English define is the ampersand. Consequently, if someone says something like, I had 3 dogs and 4 cats and 10 dogs and 10 pigs and whatever else, I write AND for all those, and it gives me the word AND instead of taking those numbers and putting decimal points in them. Okay? So, I write AEN for the word and when I hear the word and, right before cents, like and 55 cents. I write AND when I'm going to write things like 5 and 10 and 20 and 30. So if you like this, put a check mark here. Please put a check mark where it says convert dollars and cents. Put a check mark where it says feet and inches, caliber and magnum, exhibit numbers. When I was showing you in my dictionary just the word exhibit and just the word number, when using this and I write my SKIBT NUMB, it's going to capitalize the E in exhibit even though it is not capitalized in my dictionary, and it's going to take NUMBER and turn it into NO period. Same thing with case numbers down here. If you write case numbers, it will do that also. Convert time to proper format and display single digits as words. Let me explain this. One thing I did not mention when we were in the dictionary area, and let me do that now. And I'm going to show it to you because that will be the best way for me to do this. Okay, let's take a look at my numbers. I have my numbers 1 through 10 written out. So the way you need to define those is backslash FOUR, backslash TWO, etc. Because when I want numbers written out in words, I do write them in words. The rest of the time, I write all my numbers using the number bar. Now, for those of you that do write your numbers out, if you would like a handout on what you need to do in your dictionary for automatic number conversion, You can either call support and they will explain it to you, or you can shoot me an email at cdlogan, Logan, the number 1, at procat.com, and request a handout on how to do automatic number conversion, writing your numbers out. I do apologize to any of you that are listening to this. I do not write my numbers out for the most part, and so in this part of the tutorial I am talking about the number bar. Okay, so before I finish, however, I will go over and show you briefly a little bit on the handout on writing numbers out. So this is how you want to have your numbers 1 through 10 defined in your dictionary. So once you've done that, you want to put on display single digits as words. Now, once this is all finished, I'm going to click OK to this. I'm going to give this a name. And remember, folks, hang on here a minute. I messed up my COM port somewhere along the line. One of my workstations, or let's see here, captioning. There's the culprit. You got a little more information than you needed right there, didn't you? Okay. All right. So, remember, super tokens. Alrighty. So let's say, what is your date of birth? 12/12/50. And let me just close this for a minute, and I'm going to pull my notes up here so you can see exactly what I'm writing. You notice I'm just writing 12/12/50. Ta-da! I got the right thing. How tall are you? So, how tall am I? 6'3". Hang on a minute here. Let's do that again. 6'3". And it will, at that point, put the symbols in for feet and inches. You're probably thinking, well, if somebody says I'm 6'3", then what do I do? Then I write it out, because that's the way it would appear in the transcript. I will write SIX, feet, THR long E, and that's exactly what I'll get. How much money do you make? All right. So, let's say $83,400 and 33 cents. You will notice what I'm writing here. Let's go back up to the 6'3". I've got 6'3". Here's my money amount, $83,400. The word and 33. I don't even have to write cents. I call case number 44 or 77, whichever you want. I call case number, and there you see how right here it capitalized the word case, changed my NUMBER to NO period, followed by the number. what is, let's say, exhibit number 7. Watch how it changes it. See what it's doing? Exhibit number 7. Do you own a gun? Yes. 357 Magnum. And it puts the point in here, and notice I'm not even writing the word point there. I just said 357 Magnum. My point is this. Okay? I'd like to introduce you to Shadow. Shadow is one of 2 dogs, 2 giant schnauzers that I have. And after listening to me for all these hours, you might as well meet the rest of my family. So I do apologize for her outburst. Anyway, my point, it should have been my point is this. And or something like this. 0.478. Oh Lord, let's see here. There we go, 0.478. So you see what I mean? Our system was designed to recognize numbers of digits, and to read it in a sentence, and to select the exact thing you are writing. You do not have to do cumbersome setup for number conversion like some CAT systems do. You don't need to have any numbers in your dictionary for everything to come out perfectly. So, that's my little spiel on number conversion. Now, for those of you, and if you will, I can apologize for 1 second, please. I am going to go in and I'm actually going to pull up a handout that I thought I had, but I don't here, and I apologize again. For those of you that are writing your numbers out, I have extensive, and it's not a lot of work, trust me, but you do have to set your things up just a little bit different than those of us that are using the number bar. So, after all that talking and not a lot of demonstration, I hope you enjoyed the segment on number conversion. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me or to give support a call at 1-800-966-1221. Thank you very much.